The Knicks are making moves. According to reports, New York has just finalized their roster by signing Matt Ryan and Ariel Hukporti to standard NBA contracts. We're going to break down these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks signed multiple players to finalize their roster for the rest of the season. This is exactly what I have been waiting for. For weeks now on this channel, we have been reporting that since the Knicks only have 12 players on traditional NBA contracts, they needed to bump that number up to 14 by November 5th. That's tomorrow. And today, they didn't waste any time. They started by making the moves we knew they were going to make. One of those moves was taking rookie, who is currently signed to a two-way contract in Ariel Hukporti, and converting him to a standard NBA contract and adding him to this roster. And the Knicks did just that. Let's break down these latest reports from Shams of ESPN. Shout out to Shams for giving us the following information. According to him, the New York Knicks and two-way center Ariel Hukporti have agreed on a standard 2-year NBA contract. The new deal for Hukporti includes a team option in 2025-2026. The 7-footer out of Germany has served as a viable big man for the Knicks in their front court. Another NBA insider in Ian Begley also continues here by stating the following. Teams can play for 14 consecutive days with fewer than 14 players on the roster. The Knicks have played with 12 players on standard deals on the roster since the beginning of the season. So New York needed to make a move today in order to add more players to the team. Converting Ariel Hukporti to a standard NBA contract was expected for weeks now, for a number of reasons, but for one main one. When this rookie is in the game and he is playing, he is extremely impressive. He is blocking shots, getting rebounds, but offensively, he is aggressive. When he sets the pick and roll, you are believing him when he's rolling to the rim, that he's actually going to do something. That makes him a threat. And when he sets a pick and roll, you actually believe that he's going to roll to the rim. He's going to be aggressive. And that means other opposing teams have to throw a defender at him. They can't just leave him open. That makes the Knicks more dangerous when he's on the floor, especially if he's playing with Tyler Kolek or Jalen Brunson. Two great point guards that can find other players if they're open, because both of them are great at penetrating and creating. And if you have a player like Ariel Hukporti rolling to the rim with aggression and you believe it, it can only help you. He has been impressive since he was played by Tom Thibodeau in preseason. And since then, each and every game, he's gotten better and better and better. This contract, even though the Knicks needed to do it, in my opinion, it's because he earned it. He deserves it. He played extremely well, continues to improve his game, and now he's likely going to be a consistent piece off the bench for New York. But this gives New York 13 players, not 14 players, which at least is the minimum that you need for an NBA roster. That's why the Knicks also went ahead and signed Matt Ryan to a standard NBA contract. Let's break down those reports as well, too. Shams of ESPN was first to report on this. According to him, the New York Knicks are signing shooter Matt Ryan to a deal this week. The 6'7" wing shot 45.1% from three-point range last season for the Pelicans. According to another NBA insider in Ian Begley, he states the following. Matt Ryan has agreed to sign with the Knicks, but the specific structure of the deal is still to be determined. Ryan can be added on a two-way after Ariel Hukporti's contract becomes official, or he can sign a standard NBA deal. If Ryan signs a non-guaranteed standard deal, it would give the Knicks the minimum number of players required on an NBA roster, 14. It would also give them flexibility to re-sign Landry Shamet when he's healthy and bring back Ryan on a two-way deal at that point in time. If you've been watching this channel, this signing is not surprising at all to you. We have been reporting, maybe for the last 2 or 3 weeks now, that Matt Ryan was on the Knicks' radar because of his shooting and his size, and he was likely going to be that player the Knicks added. Then we reported the Knicks pulled off a boss move by drafting both Matt Ryan and Landry Shamet to their Westchester Knicks team. And now we see the reason why. they knew what they were going to do. They were going to sign Matt Ryan to a standard NBA contract and have him on this team. And they just did that. The only thing that we don't know is the structure of the deal, all of the particulars of the deal. We're likely going to get that information maybe in the next few days. Once we do, I promise you, we'll be doing another video on that and showing you how the Knicks worked magic by adding Matt Ryan to this team. We also have to remember, though, New York has not given up on Landry Shamet. As I mentioned, they made 2 first-round picks in that G League draft. One of them was Matt Ryan, and the other one was Landry Shamet. So what's the plan with Shamet at this point in time? New York currently has 14 players on traditional NBA contracts, so they don't really need Shamet in terms of having him as another player on this team. However, according to Ian Begley, New York still covets Shamet, and they want to make sure that when he's available and ready to come back, that he likely can return to the Knicks. Let's break down those reports as well, too. According to Begley, Matt Ryan has agreed to sign with the Knicks, but again, the structure of the deal is still to be determined. The Knicks also have interest in bringing back Landry Shamet. I'd be surprised if Shamet signed with the Knicks this week to get to the 14-player mark because of the nature of his injury. We got to remember, he has a dislocated shoulder. Based off of that, it's unlikely that Shamet is going to be ready to return to the floor anytime soon. However, according to Ian Begley, since the Knicks have just signed Matt Ryan to the team, they now have flexibility to re-sign Landry Shamet when he's healthy and bring back Matt Ryan on a 2-way deal. So what do they mean by that? What they mean by that is they're going to monitor Landry Shamet's rehab, make sure he's 100% and ready to come back. And once they understand when that date's going to be, they're likely going to waive Matt Ryan. And once they waive him, they're going to quickly re-sign him to a 2-way contract. That same 2-way contract spot that we have open now that we've converted Ariel Hukporti to a standard NBA deal. Then we're going to take Landry Shamet. We're going to give him a standard NBA contract, give us back those 14 players, but more importantly, give Tom Thibodeau, Landry Shamet, the player that he wanted to start the season with, that we couldn't start the season with because he injured and dislocated his shoulder. We already know from camp, from the praise from Tom Thibodeau, from the praise of the other teammates for Landry Shamet. Shamet was somebody who was supposed to come into this team this season and have a major impact off the bench. Even in preseason, Tom Thibodeau was playing him heavy minutes. He was playing him with Deuce McBride and Cam Payne. He had great chemistry with both Deuce and Payne. He was passing the ball, making shots, penetrating and creating. And we have to remember, we lost Donte DiVincenzo after we traded him in a trade to get Karl-Anthony Towns on this team. And when we lost DiVincenzo, we lost somebody with size who can shoot off the bench, who had chemistry with the bench unit. But Landry Shamet, even though he's not the same level of player as Donte DiVincenzo is, he still gives you a lot of the same abilities. He can penetrate and create. He can pass the ball. He can shoot. He can defend. And he has chemistry with the bench unit. For all of those reasons, that's why the Knicks wanted to keep Landry Shamet on this team. And even though he's not really part of the Knicks roster right now, he's still part of the Westchester Knicks. The Knicks are still going to make sure he's rehabbing properly and monitoring him. And as soon as they know he's available, Matt Ryan is going to be waived and Shamet is going to be part of this team. But focusing on the players we have right now, we just added Hukporti to a standard NBA contract, and now we have the sharpshooter in Matt Ryan. We need more bench scoring. Hukporti can give you that, but Matt Ryan at 45% from 3 last season with the Pelicans, he can definitely give you that, especially with the roster that the Knicks have out there a number of times. Mainly, they have a penetrator that will go inside, create, and break down the defense. What does that mean? That likely means the perimeter, your corner shots. All of those are open season for you. The only thing you have to do is pass the ball there. Matt Ryan is going to be one of the players off the bench that comes in. He's likely going to be one of the players spotting up from 3 in the corner. And somebody's going to find him. And when they find him, he's going to make the defense pay. And then the next possession, he might have 2 defenders on him. And if that happens, the paint's even more wide open. And that means your penetrators, whoever you're playing with, is going to have an easier time. And they're likely going to make even more things happen. Having shooters on this team is never a bad thing. It always stretches out the defense, makes your team better, and depending on the roster you have on the floor with that shooter, it could make you unstoppable. And the Knicks are slowly building a team that's not only championship contention worthy, but once we get to the postseason, will be battle tested. And not only our starting unit, our bench unit as well too. And if you have a battle-tested bench unit as well as a starting unit, you are going into the postseason with the best chance to go all the way to the NBA Finals. But as of right now, I like the Knicks and the moves that they've made and how they finalized this roster. Even though some people might say the Knicks are never going to go 14 men deep into their bench. Maybe that's true. But if they needed to, or somebody forced them to, they now have the ability to do that. And I think that's the most important thing. That and the fact that we're not going to get hit with a penalty now because we finally have the minimum of 14 NBA players on this team. But what about you guys? What do you think about the Knicks converting Ariel Hukporti to a standard NBA contract and signing Matt Ryan to a standard NBA contract as well too? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.